Ciao a tutti, benvenuti a Milano. Hey everyone, if you're new, welcome to my channel. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. In case you don't know me, I'm Carly. I study at university in Italy, but I'm from America in Pennsylvania. I'm currently in my first year of the undergraduate program for finance at Bocconi University in Milan, and my first time home since the beginning of the year was December 21st. And I'm basically going to be telling you about my experience and my reverse culture shock, which I didn't think would be a real thing. I heard about it, but I thought it was just like an exaggeration and that didn't actually happen, but it's not true. I actually felt a little bit out of place when I first got back, but it quickly vanished and I actually had another reverse culture shock when I came back to Italy. But anyways, let's get into the video. So the main culture shock I went through was the language. So even though all my classes are in English, I still was used to speaking Italian on a regular basis because first of all, everything you see on the streets is in Italian. Second of all, if you're walking in the streets and you need directions somewhere, you're gonna ask the person that you stop on the street in Italian because, you know, this is Italy, everyone speaks Italian. So I was kind of used to translating everything ever that I would think of to Italian to make sure I knew how to say it, which seems kind of excessive, but yeah, it's just a thing that I did. And I think other people do it too, but I'm not quite sure. I think it depends on how much you are really into learning the language, I guess. Personally, I was quite eager to learn Italian when I arrived, so I really tried hard to make sure I knew how to say things in Italian if I had to ask someone about it. Also, in the supermarket, everything's in Italian, so you kind of learn the names of foods no matter what. And even just the little things, like if you bump into someone on the street, you always say scusi if you want to be formal, or scusa if it's someone your age, or, you know, if you want to say thank you, grazie. And just in general, Italian is a big part of your life. So this all really hit me when I went to the airport, and I had a long flight. Here's a video about it if you're interested, but it's a long story. Basically, I was first supposed to go from Milan to Amsterdam, then from Amsterdam to another city in America, and then from that city to Philadelphia, so quite a bit of traveling. So first, on my flight from Milan to Amsterdam, the airline was actually run by Dutch hostesses, so obviously they don't speak Italian, they're not supposed to, there's no reason, but I still, even in the airport on the plane, when they gave us water or a snack, I would say grazie, and I did not mean to do it, it just kind of came naturally, and I was like, oh my gosh, they don't even speak Italian, they're gonna think I'm a crazy person, I'm not even Italian, I don't know why I said that. And also, when I arrived to the Netherlands, in Amsterdam, I got off of the plane and people kept bumping into me. It was a very big airport, so I kept saying scusa, scusa. I was like, oh, why am I saying this? That's so weird. It's so crazy because I remember when I first came to Italy, I only said pardon and thank you all the time, and I just realized how annoying that was for Italians because they would think I assumed they spoke English, and I just didn't even mean it. It just came naturally because I'm from America, obviously. So the same thing happened pretty much for the other flights. Even when I was in America, my flight was to Detroit from Amsterdam and then to Philadelphia. In the Detroit and Philadelphia airports, I still said grazie and scusi. Literally, I'm American, I speak English, it's my most fluent native language ever, and I still said those words, and I was beating myself up. I didn't know how it was possible. And even when I went to ask for help, the thing was, on the way to Amsterdam, my flight was late, and my layover was only an hour, so I missed my second flight by 10 minutes. Annoying story. Anyways, I went to ask for help with rescheduling the whole thing because I was really freaking out. So I started to translate how I would ask for help about that in Italian. Then I was like, wait, they speak Dutch and English, not Italian. Carly, what are you doing with your life? So it was so funny. I can't believe that. And then also when I came back to Italy, which was actually last week, I I was only home for 16 days, but I still got back into the swing of things, started saying the regular things all in English, and so when I came back here, I was I went to the supermarket again, and I think the first day I was there, I said sorry and to everyone when I bumped into them, and I was like, oh, the same problem I had in America and the same problem I had when I first came here are recurring, so whatever. But now I think I'm back into it. I keep saying scusa and grazie, and it's all good, so yeah. Also, this is very basic, but euros versus dollars. When I first came to Italy, I kept saying dollars, and everyone made fun of me, and I made fun of myself too. But then when I went back to America, I kept saying euro, and all my friends got annoyed at me. And I was like, okay, don't be offended. I had the same problem in Italy when I first went there. And now I'm having the same problem. I keep saying dollars because I literally only used the dollars for like 2 weeks. How did I already get back into it? I don't know. And the funny part is I barely even used cash. I just used my card, so it's not like I even touched the dollars. Also, yeah, speaking of euros and dollars, when I went back to America, seeing the dollars again was kind of weird at first because I don't know. I was just used to colorful euros because euros, if you're not familiar with them, are all different colors and they have a different size for each bill, so each value has a different color and size. But in America, all the dollars are the same size and the same color, so it's a bit more difficult to differentiate when you're far away. You can't really tell which one is which. Also, the coins, I didn't really use them, but like I kept forgetting there was no 50-cent coin. Like there is a 50-cent coin, but it's very big and no one really uses them because they're kind of, I wouldn't want to say rare, but like they're not very common. Also, you know how when you're in public and you're not really talking to anyone, but you're just walking, and you hear someone have a conversation next to you, so you kind of like listen to it absentmindedly and you kind of hear what they're saying, but you don't mean to listen, you just kind of do. Well, in Italy, I don't really do that because it's too much work to translate what they're saying, even though I want to understand like sometimes what they're saying. I don't know all the words that they're saying, so I kind of don't understand everything. So I kind of just like zoned out instead of listening when I was here. And then when I went back to America, it was weird to hear everyone speak my language again. And I was like, wait, I'm like randomly listening to people's conversations, what? And then when I came back again to Italy, I kind of stopped. Actually, I don't know. I haven't really been in a big public place yet, like in the city center or anything, so I can't really say. But I'll be curious to see what happens. Another thing, my brother told me that I picked up an accent when I was here, but first of all, I don't know what that means because I don't have an accent. I mean, obviously everyone has an accent in any language, even in their own language, but like I think he meant like a foreign accent because like I don't know what else that would mean. I mean, I don't speak Italian fluently enough to have had an accent in Italian. I don't speak it enough to pick up the accent. So I don't know why he says that. Like I always speak English for the most part. So but some of my other friends said that I started speaking a lot more slowly and that I kind of pronounce my words more clearly. And I guess it makes sense because like people who don't speak English as a first language are who I talk to mostly. But like still, they're really good at English, so I can speak normally and still have them understand me. So that's why I was confused about it, but I don't know. And I don't know if I like regained my old accent. I don't know. No clue. But let me know if you think I have a weird accent or something. If you watch my videos a lot, you probably know that I always talk about how bad of cell phone service I have here because I still have my American number and I have an international data plan, so I don't actually have Italian data in a way. And also the Wi-Fi at my residence is super horrible and slow. So when I went back to America, I was so happy. I could just scroll on Instagram without having any problems. I could send Snapchats and they would always send the first time, so that was a really big difference. And actually coming back, I think the data got better. I don't know how it's possible, but it works like a charm now. And I barely have any problems, so let's hope it stays that way. Also, here, Milan is pretty cold, but it's not that cold. Like, I think the lowest it's gotten when I've been here was like -1 degrees Celsius, which is about, I'll say 30 degrees Fahrenheit. But for the most part, I would say it's 5 to 10 degrees on a good day in Milan during the winter. So I think that's pretty nice. And I usually don't wear heavy clothing. Like I wouldn't wear a jacket probably in that scenario. I would be able to get along with just a regular outfit, like a sweater outside. I don't think it's that bad. Like I'm used to temperatures that are -10 degrees in my hometown. So that's way worse. And honestly, I'd be grateful for 5 to 10 degrees there. So in Milan, I would go out lightly dressed and people would stare at me so much. And I'd be like, oh, I guess I look good today because everyone's staring at me. But actually, no, it's because everyone thinks I'm crazy for wearing not that many clothes. So, yeah, and like one time I had a t-shirt and yoga pants on, and it was like 10 degrees, and everyone was staring at me like, what the heck are you doing? Like, everyone. I was walking with two of my Italian friends, and they were so bundled up because they're from the South. But, actually, I was passing my university. It was at night, and these two ladies who were cleaning up shop at the cafeteria, or like at this food stand outside, were like staring at me, and I thought they were trying to ask me something, and I was like, oh, scusa, and they were like, oh, are you not cold? And I was like, no, but like everyone was so curious about it. Like literally everyone stared at me for it. But like people would just randomly ask if I was cold. But when I went back to America, like if it was that temperature, everyone had the same things on that I did, so it wasn't even that weird. And actually, I went to New York one day, and it was actually -10 degrees and windy, and I was like dying, and I had a lot of warm clothes on. So that is what I compare life to. So if someone asks me if I'm cold, then I say heck no. I always think back to that day. Ugh, gosh, that was cold. But yeah, that's one big difference for sure. This is what I wanted to ask you guys about because like a lot of people have told me different things. But in America, if someone walks up to you and compliments you on, say, your shoes, it's normal. People do that all the time. It's very kind. It's a very good way to make someone's day better. So apparently not everyone feels the same way. One time I went out with a friend from Indonesia and another friend from the Czech Republic, and we were talking about that. And they said, oh, in America it's so weird how everyone does that. And I was like, what do you mean it's weird? What would happen if someone complimented you, like who you didn't know? And they were like, I mean, no one does that, so we don't have to worry about it. And I was like, what do you mean no one does that? And they're like, yeah, you don't talk to random people you don't know. And apparently in Europe and I guess Asia, it's just really weird because you just keep to yourself. I don't know, that really surprised me because I didn't think that was a thing that just Americans did, but now I'm curious. So let me know if that's normal in your country. I'm very curious to hear about that. And also, if someone complimented you on your shirt, what would you do? Would you be offended? Would you be like creeped out? Like what would happen? Because I would think that's very kind and it's just normal for me. This is my favorite thing. Okay, so my brother and I went to the supermarket one day. I think it was the third day I was home. And my mom had sent me to pick up some frozen pizzas or something. I know, don't kill me Italians, they're actually pretty good. So we were walking in one of the aisles and I got the pizzas and we were walking out of the aisle. And so there was the main aisle and the cash registers were on the other side of that aisle, and then each aisle perpendicular to that aisle had food in it. So I was walking out of the aisle and then I turned to the left and then that was it. But my brother came racing after me and he was like, Carly, what did you just do? And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, you just totally cut that guy off. Apparently there was a guy on the corner with a shopping cart trying to pass by, but I didn't even really consider it because I didn't really see it. I don't know, I didn't really know. But he was like, Carly, you're so bad at walking now. And here's why. In America, there's like this unspoken rule that you always stay to the right no matter what. It's just the way people maintain organization in public. And I don't know why, like how everyone knows about it, but it's just a thing. Like you drive on the right side of the road, you walk on the right side of the sidewalk. If there are two people, one this way and the other this way, they both go to the right side to avoid bumping into each other. But in Italy, at least in Milan, no one does that, no one follows that rule, and I strictly remember coming here and realizing that everyone walked in a crazy way on the sidewalks, and I almost got run into by a sprinter and also a biker in the same night, by the way, when I first got here. So I quickly learned that there's no pattern for walking on the streets, and you kind of just have to weave around everyone, whatever's most convenient. Even though everyone drives on the right side of the road here, they don't necessarily walk to the right. So you kind of just like go around people. You don't really pay attention to what they're doing. You just like go, or else you're gonna be stuck there for a long time. But in America, that's not the case. If you cut someone off, or if you go to the left, or if you just go around them, not considering they were there first, it's considered very, very, very rude. And I mean, obviously nothing's gonna happen if you do it, but it's still like it makes you feel bad if you cut someone off. It's just not right. So I totally forgot about that rule when I came back. That was the only really thing that changed about me that I didn't notice until someone pointed it out to me that I know of. I mean, maybe there are other things, but no one told me about them. So in that case, in the supermarket, when I was walking past the man, I went right past him, didn't even notice he was there, and he apparently looked at me and I didn't see him, but he looked at me and my brother had to apologize for me, so I was cracking up when I heard about that. I felt really bad too, but I just completely forgot. So one of my favorite quotes of this day by my brother is, Carly, you're so bad at walking now. I was really surprised that driving for the first time in 4 months was not weird at all. I got in the car and I immediately remembered everything about driving, and that's good. So my mom told me it would be like riding a bike. Like you learn how to ride a bike, you don't do it often, but you still remember how to do it. So I guess that's kind of similar to driving a car. Also, seeing my family and friends again was not weird at all. Like, I just felt like university never happened. Like, I feel like I was watching a movie, and the movie was my life, and then I paused it, took a break, got a snack, used the restroom, came back, and played the movie again. Like, exactly where it left off, even though other stuff happened, it's not really related to the movie. It's just a weird concept. So, yeah, like, my friends and I were even talking about it. We were like, yeah, even though we haven't seen each other for 4 months, it still feels like we've just, like, nothing has changed at all. So, that was a good part that I was really pleased about. And something I was definitely happy to do again was, first of all, eat Caesar salad, because Caesar salad is so good and it doesn't exist here because the dressing doesn't exist here. So having it in America was so great. And the other thing I was really happy to do was wear yoga pants at the grocery store or just when running errands, because no one cares if you wear yoga pants. It's just very casual. I mean, at least in my city. I think in any city, actually, it's just not that weird to just wear casual clothes. And here, if you wore yoga pants at the grocery store, everyone would think you just got up out of bed, went to the grocery store, and didn't care how you looked. Which honestly is true in America. When you want to go to the grocery store and you dress that way, you probably did just come out of bed. But it's fine because no one cares, and pretty much a lot of people do it. So, yeah. But overall, it's good to be back. It was good to come back to America. When I went back to America, I was sad to leave Milan, but also happy to see my family. And then when I was leaving my city, I was really sad to leave my family and my town because I missed it. I didn't want to go back to Italy that much. Like, I wanted to go, obviously, but not, like, I wasn't really excited. And then when I got here, I was super excited to be here. And I was like, okay, I missed this a lot, so I'm glad to be back. So I think, like, wherever I am, like, I'm gonna miss it. Doesn't matter where. So, yeah. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to comment and subscribe and like and all those fun things. And let me know if you have any ideas of videos I should make, because I'm going to be in Italy for probably 6 more months. So there'll be lots of time to make videos relating to Italy. Also, for Christmas, I got a camera, and I'm so happy about that. Thank you, Santa Claus. So I'm finally going to be able to make vlogs, because the previous problem I had was my phone doesn't have much storage, so I have to always film a little bit of a video, then upload to my computer, then refilm other parts of it. But now I can finally film a whole video at a time, without running out of storage very quickly with my camera, so I'll be happy to bring some more content to you about Milan and traveling and stuff. So yeah, anyways, thanks for watching. See you guys next Monday, and love you. Mwah. Ciao.